become a mentor.
Right.
Boys and girls clubs are always looking for mentors.
Absolutely.
And whatever your fix is about trying to have a son, or like you said, adopt.
Yeah.
16-year-old. There's a lot of teenage kids out there.
Because I'm sorry.
Boys. Welcome, everyone. Conversations with the Crawley. I'm Tarsha Crawley.
And I'm Kevin Crawley. And on this video, we are reviewing, look, our favorite show is back.
It is back strong.
Back strong, ready to love on the Oprah Winfrey Network, OWN TV. I think that's kind of cool how they put that OWN TV. Because Oprah trying to own everything, right?
Hey, go girl.
This is the 4th season, I think. They kind of messed up a little as far as how they're calculating the seasons, but this is the 4th group of people.
Correct.
It's in Houston, and there's a lot to jump into this one. There's even a kind of surprise person that comes into the mix. So it's interesting.
Exciting.
So we watched tonight the casting special. So no major drama, just really getting to know the people that are there. And so let's kind of just dig into kind of what we saw, who was there, and if we have any predictions for any of them.
Yeah, you're trying to predict. I'm just trying to get to know the cast.
So you got Joelle first, who's 42. He's an engineer. He was married.
Yes.
And he's got 8-year-old, and he's widowed, right?
Right.
His wife lost his wife to cancer. So he's got 8-year-old kid, twins.
Yes.
Listen, he is definitely from New Orleans.
Yes, because he reminds me of my dude from
the other show we watched, Put a Ring on It. Yes.
Put a ring on it.
Yes, you heard.
You dig. I said, oh boy, here we go.
So seems to be, for him, I think solid guy. The thing is, of course, that having to have a marriage in, not because it fell apart or anything.
Right.
You just, your spouse passed away, right? So, and he even mentions as far as what that's going to look like for him and his kids as well.
Right, when you're trying to introduce another person in a relationship, potentially someone he's looking to marry. So, it's interesting.
Yeah, so I don't have any concerns about him. Seems like a good guy. We'll see how it goes. Of course, everybody's on their best behavior right now.
Of course, right? You trying to make it on the show.
Right. All right, then we got Jason.
Yeah, he's 36, a teacher. He's been cheated on before. So I'm wondering how he's going to feel meeting ladies and trying to really open up and be vulnerable. Right. So I guess we'll see.
And he was a former ball player. He also told some story of how someone asked him to be a sugar daddy. I didn't know that was a thing, to ask somebody to be your sugar daddy.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I've been out of the game for a while, and I'm sorry, but okay. All right, and then you got Ron, who's 40. He's an entrepreneur. Corporate sales.
He sells caskets. So.
Yes. So
hey, he's in the right business, right?
He's never going to run out of clientele.
Exactly.
At all. Talks about being an alpha male, seeing how that works with him.
Right.
Seems okay.
I mean, again, right? We're just seeing who's going to be coming on the show. Kind of just the average guy. Right. So we'll see what happens.
Right. So far, no real red flags so far.
Right.
Then we have Renisha, who is 39.
Yes.
She's a salon owner, mother of 3 girls.
Yes. She's been cheated on before. And she's like, I'm gonna meet my husband in a few days. Yeah. I was like, are you really? Right. You might find a relationship. Right. So far already love, no one's gotten married.
We haven't seen that. Not a good track record for marriages. Not a good track record for marriage. She has 3 kids. She's talking more about finding a father for them than finding a lover for her. Right. So, I've never dated anyone with kids. I guess it's just a fine line and balance trying to figure that out. Right. And I think that for her, the challenge is going to be, and I wouldn't say it's a challenge, but what she's got to make sure of, and I think just from a male perspective, I think, is that, you want to know if there are kids in the picture. Right. But if that's the only thing you're talking about and it's finding someone for your children, then that can be kind of a turnoff, right? Right. So we'll see. I think that it's fine as far as the possibly meeting her husband. This ain't The Bachelor. This ain't one of those other shows. This ain't Married at First Sight.
This is Ready to Love.
This is Ready to Love.
The only marriage that we have seen on Ready to Love was somebody who got married to someone outside of the show.
Right.
And they weren't even on the show for past a week. So not a good track record, right?
And then Chrysanthemum.
Hopefully we're pronouncing that right.
I hope so. Bless her heart. She's a flight attendant. She's gone a lot, you know, and so for her, she's looking for someone who can be a provider and everything. Right. So I think it's hard when you are in a industry where you are gone for a period of time. Right. So it's like she could go on a date, but then all of a sudden to get that follow-up call, to be able to see you again. Right. It's just so in between. Right. So it's like she needs to find the right person, maybe something similar in job category. Right. So that when they do see each other again, they really are feeling sparks. Right.
Or someone that knows how to build a relationship where it's not, I'm always up in your face. Right. Because I think she's the one that makes some conversations or comments about how, you know, they act like the phone doesn't work when she's out of town, when she's on, you know, on her job. Right. So someone who is confident enough, but also mature enough and able to say, you know what, I'm interested in pursuing you. Right. Even if I can't touch you and I can't go to dinner with you tonight, I can still FaceTime. We're in the greatest time for technology where you can go ahead and...
If you're someone that has to have a job where you travel, if you want to really make a relationship work, you can do it online.
It can work, It can work. Yep. All right. And then Alexis Fly Jones.
Yes. She was married to a pastor for 5 years, and the pastor would get calls at 1 or 2 in the morning talking about needing prayer. Someone wasn't living a good, balanced life.
So if this is your first time watching us, first of all, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Definitely hit the notifications, because as this show continues, we're going to continue to put out videos every week. And so you want to make sure that you're here to see that. But one of the things is that we're pastors. So we for us, we were sitting there saying, oh, he just did not know how to have that balance.
He needed to have balance, because there's no reason why at 2:00 in the morning, someone that's a part of your church is calling for prayer.
Don't call me to pray for you and you ain't pray for yourself.
Thank you. Now, if you're dying, I get that.
Right.
If it's like a life
emergency. Yes.
Yeah, but you need prayer because your toe hurt, we're going to have some issues. So, but anywho, it didn't work out. Yes. They did get a kid out of being married that 5 years. So now she's trying to find someone that, I guess, have a balanced life. Right. You know?
Right. And she's a TV producer.
She's a TV producer.
Definitely. Yeah. So good deal. Good with her. Right. Yeah. And then Stacy, 39. She was married for over 10 years.
I'm already trying to figure out what basketball player was she married.
With some of these folks, it's like you're trying to figure out, especially if it's like someone that's high profile or semi-high profile as far as the role.
What's the difference between semi-pro and then professional? I'm like, are you talking about NBA or are we talking about professionally on?
You talking NBA or you're talking G League or you're talking what the big three with Ice Cube?
He said the big three.
Hey, listen.
They're talking about international more so.
You're talking international too, right? So,
anywho.
Or you might get paid under the table at the Y. Who knows? All right. But yeah, she's a financial services business owner.
Yes.
Got a few kids. And
she has 3 kids.
She has 3 kids, right?
Yes. One is 18. Her son stayed behind and made sure she was okay and helps to support his siblings. So, yeah.
No. All right. Diedrick. Or Diedrick.
No, it's Diedrick.
It's Diedrick. Okay. Yeah. 47. He's been married twice. He's a chef.
Yes, he's a chef.
And he's got 2 grown kids. So he's got a 26 and I think a 21-year-old.
I thought they said it was 28 and 20.
They're over 20, right?
They're over 20.
They're legal. They got their own life.
Right. And he has a 3-year-old grandchild.
Right, grandchild.
And he wants a son.
Yeah, he makes the statement that if you don't want to have a child, he doesn't want to talk to you.
Right. And then he's like, it has to be a son. I'm like, how you make all that happen? I mean, unless you're going to date someone that has a son, become a mentor. Right. Boys and girls clubs are always looking for mentors.
Absolutely.
And whatever your fix is about trying to have a son, or like you said, adopt.
Yeah.
16-year-old. There's a lot of teenage kids out there.
Because I'm sorry.
Boys.
I'm looking at it now. We're
late 40s?
He's 47, which means that let's say he meets someone on Ready for Love.
Within 9 months.
Within 9 months, and that's rushing it.
That's rushing.
Right? So you're talking he's 48, 49-ish.
Right.
So you're talking about 18 years. You're talking you're what, 67 then?
Well, and then your grandson or your grandchild is older than your son.
So they could help babysit your son. Listen. And
I don't know.
He's got. I think there is one person in here who is like her fertility clock is ticking.
Yeah.
So that might be his only shot.
But how you know you're gonna have a son?
That's the other thing.
He had 2 girls.
Yeah. Because one thing that happened with the show was you have Tommy and his wife.
Yes.
She joined him, and she's like,
be sweet.
She was like, maybe you can only have girls. Maybe that's all that's coming out of you.
Hey, there's certain people when they try to have kids, but then they end up being with someone else can have kids. If your chromosomes ain't adding up.
Yeah. So you can keep rolling the dice on that one if you want to, but that ain't no. All right. And so then Andrea, 38, she's a flight attendant.
She's another flight attendant. We have 2 on the show.
Yeah, we have a couple of different. Yeah. Last season, I think it was a couple of chefs. We had a few chefs.
Yes, we had one woman chef and one male.
Right. So we got a couple of flight attendants and we have a couple of lawyers.
Yeah, we have 2 lawyers. Yes.
But she is, one of the things she said, that's the one who her fertility clock is ticking.
Yes.
But she's been single since after college.
Yeah, so like 17 years. Haven't had a relationship. What I'm not hearing is like, did y'all do any counseling? Like, have you really, and I get being busy or maybe career, but when you're not in a relationship, you lose some things.
Right.
Not being able to have to compromise or communicate, so it could be a little concerning. Like, how do you date? Are you awkward when you talk to someone of the opposite sex?
Right.
How many cobwebs do you actually have?
You said cobwebs. All right. So, yeah. But yeah,
be dusty.
That's a long time to be without a relationship.
Right.
And now be ready for love, right? So then my question would be,
what made you ready for love?
What's been the challenge? Because it can't just be I'm not meeting people, right?
Correct.
Because if you're not meeting people, then that's a whole other issue, right?
Right.
So then the question is, why have you not been in a relationship?
Right.
What's been the challenge? What's been the barrier?
Right.
Because Ready to Love is not going to be the cure-all for that.
No, not to speed up the missing 17 years of your life. So, but she ain't the only one.
No,
Liz, right there with her.
Single for 17 years.
Single for not like no relationship. For 17 years, worked on her career. She owns her own production company. That's all awesome.
Right.
Great. Kudos. But again, you're on Ready for Love. Now, how emotionally, where are you going to be? Are you going to be able to be balanced? Because you're not the only one dating this person.
Right.
And I think I've seen women in Ready for Love struggle so much with one woman liking, or 2 or 3 women liking the same dude.
Right.
And so here you are, haven't been in a relationship 17 years. Now you're competing not with only yourself.
You're competing with 9 other women.
Yes. For the man's attention.
Right.
There might be some scratching going on.
All right. Then you got AJ, 38. He's a producer, music producer, originally from Chi-Town.
Yes.
Shout out to all my Chi-Town folks.
Yes.
Hey. All right. But he mentions that when he got to Houston, he hit the scene.
Oh, he hard. Like, he was like, I might have dated somebody that's on the show. Like, bro, like, you mean dated someone on the show? Or do you mean you hit it on the show? So I'm like, how many women... So the question would be for me, if we go out, am I going to meet like 10 of your girlfriends?
Right.
Like, so how hard
did you hit the scene? When you came to Houston? Do
you need to get tested? Or what are we saying?
Pull up.
I'm just saying. He said he hit it hard.
He did say he hit it hard.
He said he hit it hard.
So we'll see what that means. All right. And then Troy, who is our senior guy of the group this season. He's 51 regional manager.
Yes.
He makes the statement that he is the best catch in Houston.
Someone hadn't threw out a rod, I guess.
So the problem with saying that is you're 51 and you've been living the bachelor life all this time. So
he was married, wasn't he? Before or no?
No, I think if I remember correctly, he's been a bachelor the entire time. Oof. He's not. So it's like, if you're the best catch, how do you know you're the best catch if you've never been caught?
Right.
That's just.
Or people throwing you back. I mean, come on now. You're like, I'm the best catch for 20 seconds.
Right.
And he talks about being picky. He doesn't like. Excuse me. He's not attracted. He's not attracted to full figure women, and
that's a preference. I mean,
if you're not, whatever, petite, whatever, they're not catching him either.
Right. He's the
tiny
best,
woman and big woman.
He's the best catch that ain't been caught. All right. And then Ida, 37. She's a development manager.
Right. She just seems just I hate to say normal, but she talks about her mom being a teenager. Mm-hmm. So her mom had her when she was a teenager.
Right.
So she's been taught to be very independent, not to need a man. And now she's like, well, I'm taking all this advice from my mom who's been hurt, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of that comes out of her. Mm-hmm. And now she said, that ain't working for me.
Yeah.
Again, there's a balance. You want to have your own thing, do your own thing, but you want to have that with someone else.
Exactly. All right. And then Tressa is she's a comedian and entrepreneur.
She was married at 19.
Right. Yeah. She's got a daughter.
13-year-old.
Realized that she no longer wanted to be married to that person.
She said she was a man in a relationship.
Right. That's scary. She ran everything right.
Right.
And so she also talks about how sometimes guys are put off or don't necessarily take her serious as a comedian, things of that nature.
Right.
So that also, because
we had a comedian in the last
2 seasons ago?
2 seasons ago. So she got to make sure she didn't get in the friend zone.
Right.
Can't be friend zone.
Right. And you can't always be on stage. You can't always be performing. You can't always be.
There has to be that balance of being serious and when to have fun.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Exactly. All right. Now, Christian, 36, he's a mailman.
He's a mailman.
But he's also a recovering alcoholic.
Yes. Kudos for him. He's
absolutely
3 years sober. Mm-hmm. Because he had an incident that said, like, I need to get my life together.
Exactly.
And he says, he was doing his wild side for a while, but now he's interested in being in a monogamous relationship.
Yeah.
So hopefully that we get to see more of him.
Yes. Well,
I know.
Christian is actually
a red flag
he is my last since we've done this. So last season, I correctly picked the guy that was first to leave.
Yes.
Christian is my he's my prediction that he'll be one of the first one to leave. He may even be the first
possible. One. It depends on if he gets a little lively, or if he felt like he had to always have liquid courage, which may have caused him to go into sobriety. So I guess we'll see.
And I think it's just the vibe I'm getting from him.
That he's real laid back.
He's a little laid back, and when I look at him in all honesty, when I look at him compared to some of the other guys, I think that there's I hate to use the word vibe, especially when I'm talking about other men, right? But there's something with these other guys that I'm like, I can see it. I don't necessarily see it in him.
Well,
there's a quality there that I don't see from him.
What you're seeing, I believe, is that there's men that are confident in who they are. And when a man has a very big setback, he can be very down on himself.
True.
So it seems like Christian may be lacking some confidence, right?
Right.
I mean, you're in a AA meetings, you may have done things not right.
Right.
And so now you're trying to get your life on track. You may not have that confidence swag as some of the other guys have.
Right. So that's just my prediction. We'll see if I'm accurate. All right. Then you got Khalil, who's 41. He's a teacher.
We got 2 teachers.
Yeah. That's right. We do have another. Yeah. So and his story is he almost died in a car crash.
Yes. Overseas. He was dating someone,
right,
and thought that was going to be it. So he got married in the UK,
and then got it annulled.
Saying, "Nah, maybe not." Right. Because he couldn't find a job, and again, you're living overseas, so it's like a whole new world.
Right. So interesting with him. We'll see how he's a little more laid back, I think. Also,
yes,
but I think that he still is. Still comes across in a way that I think that he'll at least last for a little bit.
Well, what we realized with Ready to Love, you have to be open, right? And so the people who stick around the longest are those who are going to be a little bit vulnerable. Yeah. They have a little swag to themselves. And, they're willing to put up a little chase. So.
Yeah. All right. So, and then we got Amber, who is 31, and she's a lawyer.
She's a lawyer, a criminal attorney. So, this should be interesting. I mean, nothing really stuck out to me about Amber. Amber might be the first one to go. If we want to look at the woman's side.
No, because there are clips. I can see her in clips where she's.
So you're looking at clips?
I'm not looking at clips totally, but I'm saying I don't think she's one of the first ones to go. I think that because we talked about one of the things is that her hairstyle is a little...
On her interview after being selected, it was a little off for her. Right. So...
But I think she'll stick around. I think she'll be around a little bit. All right. She might be one of the few attorneys that makes it past the first round. Right?
Well, yeah, she seems more down to earth.
Yes.
Than the last attorney that was on Ready.
Well, the last one was Simone last season, who did last, but Simone had her own issues, and then there was another one previously. So, all right, you can tell we are Ready to Love fans. We watch it. We've watched it since it started. All right. Then David, who is 44, he's a real estate agent and investor.
Yes, he says he's picky.
Yes.
He's been married twice when he was young and felt like he did it wrong, and then married second time
and married the wrong person. Same thing, just different words.
Right. And then his parents just recently got divorced.
After 40 years.
And he was upset about that.
And he's distraught. So we had the question about if your parents, if you're grown and your parents divorce, does that impact you in the same way as when, if you were a child living at home?
I don't know. Put it in the comments. You tell me.
Let us know.
Yeah, I mean, my parents divorced when I was 5. So I have my own child trauma. If they were grown and my mom and her, and her second husband had divorced, I don't know if I would take it back. I would feel bad for her. Right. But it's no reflection on me. Right. And so if he's internalizing their marriage, maybe like I was telling you, was there always a communication issue? Right. Because when you're done after 40 years, that's a long time to hold on. Yeah. I mean, your kids are grown. Right. And now you're deciding divorce. So. Yeah. Yeah.
So, all right. And then we have Kyra, who is 34. She's our other attorney.
Yes, she's our other attorney.
Her last relationship was with her college sweetheart.
Yes, it lasted for 9 years. And he was cheating on her. Yeah. Yeah. So, again, so far we haven't heard that some of these people have been into therapy. Yeah. In that type of relationship, first of all, you were young. And then, that lasted past college and you guys never got married. But in that, there's someone that was not faithful to you. Right. It's like, how do you grow, learn from that, and make sure you're picking the right person? Yeah. So, interesting.
We'll see. Yeah. All right. And then the surprise.
Oh, we got to let them see it, right? Are we going to tell them?
No, we're going to tell them. We're going to talk about it. Listen, that's why you all come on this show. You get to hear our perspective. You get to any surprises, anything that we find out. Right. We let you know. So, a holdover from the last season to round out our number at 20 is Kris.
Kris is back.
Kris is back.
So good to see Kris.
Yes.
And then he's open to try again.
Yes.
Now the question is he gonna learn from the last time and talk to a lot of women and don't get locked in to one woman?
And so just in case you've not watched it before, you need to go back.
Yeah, check
out the playlist. I'll put it up in the corner here. But Ready to Love last season, Kris had locked into, what's her name, Naya? He locked into her really quick, really early on. And then one conversation changed it for her. Shit. And she was like, I don't know that dude, right? Right. So it's good to see that. Now, the other question I have, though, is because we don't know the timing of when the ladies or the people that are on this season in relation to last season. So we don't know if anyone from this season that we're about to watch has seen the episodes that Kris was in. So then will they prejudge him or feel like they already know him or know about him from that. So and that all really depends upon the timing of when they filmed it.
That's true, but also, I mean, you can't get that he came off as just a genuine dude.
Right.
So it's not like you can take a lot from it other than I'll be more intrigued to get to know him.
Right.
If he wasn't my type of person, but I got to see him on screen, I'd be like, I just want to get to know you because you are vulnerable and you come off as a very caring
and he got the raw end of the stick. So I was glad that they decided to bring him back
and that he wanted to come,
right?
Because he could have said
no, I'm not going to put myself out there again.
Right.
So. All right, I think that's it for. So look, we're excited about this season of Ready to Love. Make sure, again, hit the subscribe button, hit the notifications. You want to be here every time that we put up a new video because we're going to put them up as soon as we watch it. We'll be filming it. We'll go ahead and put this out there for you all to digest along with us, right?
Yep.
All right. Well, look, that's it for this one. Have a great one. Be blessed. We'll see you next time.
Bye.